Wow. Welcome. Welcome. I was expecting a small, intimate group, but it's fantastic to see so many of you here today. So welcome to Jaguar Land Rover. Thank you for attending tonight. We hope you're going to enjoy it. I'd also like to pay a special thanks to Joe Eberhardt, who's somewhere here. He's the CEO of Jaguar Land Rover North America, and Joe is hosting us tonight. And I think, Joe, you are over there somewhere. I think you've agreed to pay the bar bill, so thanks for that. But today is all about special vehicle operations, or SVO as we like to call it, and the role in which we play within the Jaguar Land Rover business. You know, our raison d'etre, our reason for being, is to deliver vehicles of distinction. Vehicles that push the boundaries in terms of luxury, in terms of performance, and in terms of capability. And I'm thrilled, you know, we're a business, we're 3 years old. I'm thrilled that for the first time we're able to showcase vehicles today, which we'll talk about later, that demonstrate all 3 of those values. There is one vehicle, however, that we're not going to be able to show today. It's going to be at the Motor Show tomorrow, and that is a race-prepared version of the Jaguar I-Pace. The Jaguar I-Pace is our all-electric vehicle. We actually revealed it last year at this show in LA. We put it into production next year, and the race-prepared version looks something like this. I love that car. I think that is really, really cool. That is the future of motorsport, and I'm really proud that we're involved in that. The first championship race starts in November next year, 2018, and I'm delighted actually to be able to announce today the first team that will be involved in that, managed by a legend of US motorsport, Bobby Rahal. Now, Bobby is here. Come up on stage, Bobby. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, good. You're looking good as ever.
I got more excited just watching that.
That's great. Bobby, tell me, what was it that got you interested in this form of? I mean, you've got lots of history, but what was it that got you interested in what I would call the future of motorsport?
Well, I think that's just it. It's the future of motorsport in a big way. You know, obviously, electrically powered cars are going to be a big part of our future, and to be involved in that and the development of that, the evolution of that, whether it's in racing or on the street, is something that I found very attractive. And to represent Jaguar and Land Rover around the world is something that I found very attractive. And you might also know I'm a Jaguar Land Rover dealer, so that doesn't hurt either. So, but in any event, we're very, very excited about this new venue, this new part of the sport, and look very much forward to our first race about a year from now.
And you've got a reputation of bringing great new drivers. Are you got any good plans there you can tell us about, or is that under wraps at the moment?
Well, as it was announced today, my phone started ringing off the hook, as you might imagine. I think Excellent. It's going to be very exciting. I'm really, I think this is going to be a big part of, as I said earlier, motorsports in the future, and we're just glad to be a partner with Jaguar Land Rover in it, and to be a part of the series as a whole.
Fantastic. And one more question, you're going to win?
Well, of course.
Of course. Excellent. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you much. Bobby Rahal. Thanks, Bobby. Okay, we're now going to focus on the Jaguar SVO story, and for that I'm going to ask another legend, the second legend, to join me on stage, Ian Callum, Design Director of Jaguar. Ian. Go for it, babe.
You're so cheeky, John, you know that. Well, good evening, everybody. It's great to be here. I always love coming to LA, I have to tell you. Now, we've got 3 great Jaguar SV special vehicles, and they are very special. And, of course, performance is what Jaguar is all about. And what John's team does is take the Jaguars to a whole new level. First of all, the F-Type SVR, 575 horsepower, all-wheel drive. You can have it with carbon brakes as well. And you know what I love about these cars is that we're designing these cars functionally. This is about controlling the air, the cooling, to make sure they work. And all these appendages you see in these cars really do matter. The rear wing, for instance, it really matters. You need to have them. At 200 miles an hour, you need these things. And 200 miles an hour is good, by the way. You should try it. Also, we've got 2 cars out the front. You may have seen them. One of them is Project 7, a derived car from the F-Type. Fantastic car, limited edition. And if you want one, you can't have it. Because they're all sold. They sold ages ago. In fact, believe it or not, they're now selling for a lot more than we sold them originally. So that tells you something about the character of the car. Real collector's pieces. Great car, 575 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, a real driver's car, but really fantastic to drive. Now, the other car, of course, is Project 8. This is derived off the XC. And we wanted to create the fastest, most agile 4-door sedan in the world. This car is 600 horsepower, all-wheel drive. You see from the stance of it, it's really purposeful, great aerodynamics, and again, this car will do 200 miles an hour. As of course you need to do, don't you? With your friends in the back. That's the important thing. That's very impressive. So why do such a fast 4-door sedan? Well, Jaguar actually invented the sports sedan. It wasn't BMW or Audi or Mercedes. It was Jaguar back in the 60s. Yes, I remember the 60s. Many of you probably don't even know what the 60s were. They were a pretty good time, actually. But it was a great time for innovation, and the Mark II Jaguar really was the first proper sports sedan. And we wanted to replicate that and take our mantle back for what Jaguar stood for. So how do we measure these things? How do we measure our performance cars? Well, we go to Nürburgring in Germany, the most demanding race circuit probably in the world. We know exactly how to go around it, how to time our cars around it, and we can compare ourselves with the competitors. So we took our car around Nürburgring, and it is hugely demanding. It's not just about speed, it's about agility, it's about braking, it's about getting around that ring in as few minutes as possible. So we took our car around the ring, and bear in mind that the current record for the ring for a 4-door sedan is 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Just bear that in mind. So how did we do? 11 seconds. 11 seconds, a long time on a race circuit. I'll tell you, you have to go in a car with one of these professional drivers. It's the scariest experience you can ever have. They are crazy people, they're mental. But that's 11 seconds we broke the record. That's the fastest sports sedan four-door in the world. And by the way, that's 7 seconds faster than any BMW production car. Any BMW production car. Just to make a point. If you want to see all of that film, the full 7 minutes of it, you can see it on Jaguar.com. And if you want to buy one of these cars, speak to John. Thank you.
I've got to tell you, I am so proud of the designers and the engineers who actually delivered that car. Just remember, that is faster than any BMW has ever been around that circuit. And that's back in their home territory in Germany. So we are really, really chuffed about that. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to Land Rover. And it gives me great pleasure to invite the third legend to come up and join me on the stage, Mr. Jerry McGovern, who's the Chief Design Officer of the Land Rover business.
Legend, I'm not that old, well maybe. Good evening ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be pretty quick so you've got no excuse for falling asleep, okay? I'm going to introduce 3 new vehicles that are going to carry the SV badge, but before I do, I just want to remind you the Land Rover brand continues its journey of transformation, creating new vehicles that are replacing the established vehicles, but also looking for what we call white space opportunities to stretch the brand and give it greater resonance. This car, for example, the new Velar that we launched this year, which is a new type of Range Rover. Design and engineering is at our very core of everything we do. Land Rover is our master brand. 3 distinct families. Range Rovers are all about refinement and luxury. Discoveries are about versatility. And yes, a whole new family of Defenders are coming, and they'll be all about their ruggedness. You'll be able to kick the hell out of them, and they'll get up for more. Sounds a bit like Michael Caine, that did, didn't it? Yeah, sorry. For me, it's all about we don't sell commodities. We sell vehicles that people fall in love with, that they love for life. And for me, that's about making that emotional connection. And design is the thing that does that. And you can break it down quite simply into 3 key elements. First of all, visceral. When I look at it, do I desire it? Behavioural. Once I've got it, does it do what it's supposed to do? And last but not least, reflective. Once I've used it, owned it for a period of time, do I still desire it? Does it still behave properly? And am I building a lasting relationship with it? That's the fundamentals to emotional design. And for me, what SV is about is taking what has been designed in its purest form, because every Land Rover, whether it's a Range Rover Discovery or a Defender, will be optimised in its base form. It's the best you can get. What SV is about is taking that and amplifying certain specifications or certain elements of it that our customers want more of. So let's start then with the first one, which is the Discovery, which again was launched here in the US this year. This is a critically acclaimed vehicle for its compelling design and its high level of versatility. So the brief for this vehicle, quite simply, was how do we make this the most capable, the most extremely capable Land Rover we've ever made before. And that's been done by fully utilising the expertise that we have, that years of knowledge about how we make these things incredibly capable, because nobody else can do it like our engineers. It's the first time I've ever complimented them, isn't it, Anno? Oh, he's asleep. Anyway, when you look at the vehicle, and it's over there, but you can see it better here, it differentiates itself from the core vehicle. You'll notice it sits higher for better wheel articulation and approach departure angles. All the things you need to make the thing be more extremely